anyone who's ever offered the opportunity should never miss that opportunity. I mean, it's a tremendous experience. It's something different from anything else you've been to. And I mean, during my time, I was at various management colleges, at various national training facilities in the UK. This is a totally different experience. And it also, by the way, has two things that emerge afterwards. Firstly, you develop an excellent network of contacts in the United States. In my case, and this was 28 years ago, I'm still in contact with folk there, and doing that means that I have an entree into various departments. And secondly, when you come back, the Alumni Association is also a great opportunity to meet together with folk who've been through the same experience. So I would strongly encourage both employer organisations and individuals not to miss this opportunity. I mean, the quality of the teaching is excellent, and they have, as you know yourself, folk with tremendously long experience and characters, individuals who've been around administration in the United States and have a lot to bring, not only in terms of the intellectual approach, but in terms of experience on the ground. Working in syndicates or leadership teams is very important, and you've got to, of course, relate well to those teams. That gives you an opportunity to benchmark yourself with a group, a small group. But their approach and part of the experience, of course, is actually learning it. So you don't want to give away too much in terms of what happens. But the tools that they use, the self-analysis, the feedback that you get is hugely important, and also a very good opportunity just to take yourself completely out of a Western European context into a wholly new situation, to look back, to reflect. And then to say to yourself, well, what is it that I'm bringing back? What is it that I need to bring back? And what's the value added going to be? Just going back to my experience, I was one of a program of 64. I have to say to you that my initial reflection that first morning was somewhat overawed. And then I suddenly realised that I had as much to contribute to them as I had to learn from them, because both in my experience, and I know others who've been there as well, have been running in senior positions, running important organisations, and in our case, not only during the years of troubles, but at the forefront of policy initiatives, etc. So we had a lot to contribute. The American civil servants who were there tended to be senior people, but in one very specifically defined organisation. So exchanging experiences, comparing theirs and ours. I mean, context obviously is important, but the experience and the learning from one another was hugely important. It's been over 30 years. It was one of those things that the old Public Service Training Council started, as I say, about 30 years ago. And the great thing to me is that this is a unique relationship between FEI and the public service in Northern Ireland. Not just the civil service, but the whole public service in the public, voluntary and community sectors. And in fact, Northern Ireland, as you know, is populated, particularly in senior positions, by folk who've had the benefit of this experience.